Welcome back to Nadya's Identity Files. I have with me the estimable Julian Michael.
Hello out there in TV land.
Hello, hello. And the rain has finally stopped, so, we're not watching rain coming down. We're just watching
we're
randos.
watching crazy. This is actually a fantastic place to have a studio because we're here on Hollywood Boulevard, just sort of crazy adjacent. We're not necessarily like in the thick of it, but we're close enough to see some characters, though.
Okay, so here's the thing. So we have Hollywood and Vine yonder.
Yep.
We have Hollywood and Highland yonder that way.
We're right.
So
the L. Ron Hubbard lady was looking at me kind of funny when I parked my car.
Always.
Yeah, and
one of these days, I don't know what you think, but I would love to just like pull one of those people with their Dianetics books.
I can't. All right.
Yeah.
So Scientology actually saved my relationship. People don't know this, but my husband, my then boyfriend at the time, had just broken up.
What?
And we were in New York City, and we decided we were going to try to be friends. So we needed like a date of some kind that we could go on that was non-sexual.
That was a platonic.
Right.
So you went and met with the Scientologist.
And so we're both crazy people, so we're like, let's go to the Church of Scientology. Always wanted to just check it out. And they kind of kidnapped me. Like they took
you hostage
down to the basement and locked me in a room for a good hour and tried to get me to buy these goddamn books.
Did they give you the test?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
And how did you score?
Not well. I think I got a B-.
Oh, I got a C.
Yeah.
I was near failure on that.
But the point was he was so concerned about me because I was gone so long. Right. He was like, oh my God, I think I need him in my life.
You got close.
And now we're back.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you, L. Ron Hubbard.
Thank you, Lord Xenu, for my relationship.
Is that the name?
Yeah.
Xenu?
That's the one you're not supposed to.
Is that like the he who shall not be named?
He's the dragon thing that lives in the volcano or something.
There's a dragon thing?
This
is a part of Scientology I did not understand. Like,
Yeah.
if we're viewing kind of like GOT-ish with Scientology, then I might actually have to do some investigation.
I mean, you got to figure L. Ron Hubbard was one of the most prolific science fiction writers of his time. So, of course, there's a crazy dragon thing somewhere in a volcano.
Obviously. So, clearly, I'm just not thinking properly. Wowzers. Well, I thank you so much for being here.
That's why you brought me on here, was to talk about the Church of Scientology.
Clearly.
Yep.
What I really want to talk about first is the idea of not being a token in the typical sense. So, obviously when we think about a token somebody, be it a token lesbian or a token activist or even a token Republican or Democrat, we have this very specific idea. But you've taken that word and made it something completely different. Can you tell us about that?
So token's my brand. My whole life I felt like in whatever circle I was in, I was sort of outcast, you know. And I grew up. I went to an all-black school. Then I went to a predominantly white high school. I was one of few black people in my college. So I've always kind of felt other.
Yeah.
And there's that character on South Park, the sort of token black guy, and I relate to little token. So the more I thought about it, the more I realized that being a token is actually cool. And what it means is a couple things, right? People talk about like a token of your appreciation or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really a symbol of who you are or what you wish to represent, right?
Right.
Or it's the thing that you allow to exist in your circle that you don't feel threatened by. Mm-hmm. So I've sort of taken both of those things and said, here I am, I'm that token. And although you don't feel threatened by me, you kind of should. You actually should. So my comedy is a little bit subversive in that I'm taking all the stereotypes about what you expect a black person to be, a gay person to be, and I'm just kicking them in their ass a little bit.
So you're imbuing the word with a very specific type of multidimensionality that a lot of people are just like look at it as being one way or the other.
Yeah, if you come see me perform, if you listen to me in any context, you're going to get a really smart guy who's aware of how he looks and how people look at him, even more importantly. Right. And one of the things I think I've been fortunate to have is just enough experience with different kinds of people to learn how to code switch. And now I just sort of take it and use it to my advantage because I really want to teach people something, and I want to make them laugh at the same time. And all I have is who I am as a person, you know?
Absolutely.
I'm the guy that, I usually start my shows, I say, I'm the guy that people call when they want their group to appear diverse but remain non-threatening. And that's the least threatening thing I'm going to say for the rest of the show, and then we're just going to get in it.
No, we must.
We're going to get in it. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start there.
Yep.
And we'll just, go increasingly subversive.
Absolutely.
Obviously, because that's just the way to go. So, I mean, obviously you do a lot of different things, not just comedy, although comedy seems to be like the umbrella for all that you do.
So, you know what? It's funny. I thought at a very early age that I was called to the ministry. I grew up in the church, like Pentecostal.
Speaking of Scientology, but not.
Yeah, right. Like deep in it. My degree's in religion, and I went to school to learn more, to study Greek, so that I could, at this point in my life, be a minister. So I've always had the unction to talk to people, and felt like I had something to say.
What made you want to pursue that track initially?
I believed it. I at that point in my life, my faith was the most important thing in the world. And if it is, how can you not pursue it?
Totally.
And so, I'm 30-something at this point, and I've had enough life experiences to where it doesn't make sense to me anymore. So I don't pursue it. And that's no disrespect to people who need it. I think if you believe in something and it helps you sort of act better, then by all means.
So at
praise
what
Lord
age
Zeno.
did you? Lord Zeno, I would like him to come on my show, but I just don't have that connection.
You need to buy more books.
I need to buy more books. Well, it is right next door. So when my show blows up, or if you guys want to send me a donation so I can buy books and bring Lord Zeno on, that's something to think about. Not to sidebar too much. So, I mean, when did you realize that the track into theology was no longer for you? Moved into comedy.
Within a decade ago, honestly. I was living in Virginia, working actively in a Southern Baptist church, mostly with music and just doing my thing.
Right.
And I took a job in New York, and it just kind of stopped making sense. There wasn't a specific moment. It wasn't coming out of the closet. It had nothing to do with any bad experience.
Right.
I just reevaluated what my life was about and sort of what I thought it all meant.
Right.
And I realized that the emphasis of my life is really about making connections on earth and sort of living to pursue certain goals
Totally.
now. And I didn't really have time for anything else. And so the more I kind of allowed that, the more I realized that, there's a lot of wisdom in the world. And it doesn't really make sense to me, and in the way I've been sort of taught to think, for it to be contained to any specific tradition.
Right.
Or necessarily any tradition at all. So it stopped making sense.
Right.
And it's actually been one of the most freeing things for me because it's allowed me to just be the person I think that I am.
And it's allowed you to explore your art and your creative expression across a number of different modes.
100%.
So you started then transitioning to comedy, and then talk about, I guess, the relationship between that and radio.
So the radio is relatively new. I co-host a show called The Mayhem and Token Show. It's on Dash Radio, which is a free app. Everyone should download it. And
download it now.
Download it right now.
Right this second.
DashRadio.com. And my co-host used to be in a band called Methods of Mayhem with Tommy Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a platinum song with Lil' Kim called Get Naked. He's a crazy guy named Tilo Murray.
I should have cut to that video.
Probably not. Probably not. Or my interview's done. And so, we just talk a whole lot of shit about a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, we've had everyone from
That's glorious.
Pink Floyd and Jane's Addiction on our show, to porn stars and MMA fighters and Hell's Angels and everyone in between. And we sometimes we agree, sometimes we fight, and
that's what makes it interesting. That's what keeps it fresh. Why don't we show a clip or a trailer from the radio show?
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Warning. The show you're about to hear is completely crazy. From the minds of Tilo Murray, lead singer of Methods of Mayhem, and Julian Michael, finalist at the World Series of Comedy, comes the most uncensored, unscripted, and unapologetic show on Dash Radio. Take a rock star with no filter, a token minority with no shame, throw in some music and a whole lot of real talk, and what do you get? It's the Mayhem and Token Show. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
Yes. So you better download that, like ASAP. Download
it's
it's
a fun ride.
On the website too, right? Like
MayhemandToken.com, at Mayhem and Token, SoundCloud, everything is Mayhem and Token.
What about iTunes?
Not yet.
Not yet. Getting there.
And that's mainly because we have a DJ that plays a lot of music that iTunes doesn't want us to necessarily put up.
Well.
Yeah.
Whoa there.
Yeah.
All good. Just go to the Dash
Radio. Yeah, get our app every Wednesday and Friday. New episodes, 10 p.m. And then check us out online for.
But this is not the end. It sounds like we're ending things, but
we're ending this
we're only
segment.
just like getting started. So stay tuned.